Philippine 경기장 도시형.
All right, so over here at the 9 o'clock position, we got oGs.JookTo.
I knew you were going to do that.
He's our blue Zerg player. Damn aliens need to go back to their own damn planet.
I'm not saying it was Zerg. It was Zerg.
On the left-hand side of the map, we have from Team Mouse Sports, HasuObs. He is our yellow Protoss player. PvZ action, cross positions on Terminus. HasuObs has picked this map a couple of times in Team Arena play. The past couple go-arounds, so not too big of a surprise from him.
Well, you know, PvZ is, if it gets into kind of a late-game situation, as long as a Protoss has been able to control the number of expansions the Zerg's been able to take, it's usually pretty good for Protoss. So not a surprising map choice, really, for HasuObs. He's going to be doing a Forge expand like most Protoss would choose to do on this map these days, especially after they kind of narrowed up the choke a little bit at the natural expansion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have to see what HasuObs has planned for this game. Same thing with JookTo. Yesterday, keep in mind, we did see a lot of PvZs. We saw a lot of Zergs kind of controlled by the Protoss as far as, like, putting pylons down in the natural. A lot of Zergs were attempted to try to take a fast third. Now, on this map, it's not going to work, so that's good for the Zerg player, I'd say.
Well, we'll see how JookTo wants to take advantage of that. He decides to go pool first, doesn't want to deal with any shenanigans over at his natural, and we'll be able to deflect that probe from blocking his expansion pretty easily. Back on HasuObs' side of things, though, Forge going up at the front, no real surprise there, and he is going to find his opponent for sure here in just a second.
You know, there's so much stuff to see on this map, too. I mean, I really, really like these maps. There's just so many like little things here and there that you don't notice. Like I just saw something just a moment ago that I'd never seen on this map before, and I've literally been casting games on it for nearly a year.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Yeah.
What did you see?
There's a little thing that said operations with an exclamation point. For some reason I've never seen that before, and everyone out there is like, you didn't know about that? Oh, come on.
Critical feature of the map.
Sorry, I didn't see it. Didn't see it before. I don't know. Lots of interesting things. There's a fan by a bunch of barrels.
Yeah, I always thought that that was kind of interesting because these look like exploding barrels in every James Bond shooting game ever. So
that was fun.
Yeah.
Exploding barrels like that.
Yeah, that was always awesome because you could walk in with a pistol and take out swaths of like 48 guys.
Definitely, definitely.
That sums up the...
it's James Bond, man. I mean, what do you expect?
Oh, you remember GoldenEye, the very first level, and you're going through the tanks and everything like that, popping out at the end, and it's an endless wave of enemies, but you could also get infinite ammo, and you could sit in a spot where no one could ever touch you, so you could actually kill like 450 guys before you just got bored.
I never did that.
I just thought it was funny because, like, I always had this weird image of James Bond actually killing an entire army. So,
well, I think he has on a number of occasions. I mean, it's
probably
kind of what he does. Yeah, there's the Nexus for mouz.HasuObs. After the Forge, of course, playing it a little bit safer.
Does have double gas coming up now.
Yep.
We'll see how quickly he wants to tech or what sort of follow-up he'll do in a bit.
Yep.
JookTo, on the other hand, he's producing Queen number 2. Already left himself an inject at his first hatchery as he runs it down to his natural. And things are... Oh, he's actually double gassing right now already.
All right. Well, I mean, that's going to help him get things like Zergling speed much quicker, roaches if he decides to go for it. This is a map that a lot of Zergs have decided to do a Mutalisk on as well in ZVP, and that certainly is a popular style these days. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him do something like that. You know, get a quick Zergling speed, quick lair, and then take his third and fourth gas and go for something like more upgrades and Mutalisks.
Well, we'll find out if he decides to go along that path here in a second. HasuObs trying to run in, and we'll see if he can actually see both gas. He gets one, doesn't get over to see the second, so still a little bit in the dark as nothing looks out of the ordinary. And boom, quick lair tech coming up now for JookTo as he, let's see, we're at 5 minute and 45 second lair.
Yeah, that is a very quick lair for JookTo, so he's got some sort of plan in the works. It seems like something a little bit less common than the normal ZVP builds on this map. Not making any effort to really break down the rocks or anything either, so he's going to do quite a bit of teching here on 2 bases.
All right, well, we'll see what that tech's going to be here in a bit. Could throw down a couple more gas here soon as well. And let's see, it's taking a look around now. HasuObs, I'm still waiting for him to show his hand. He's not thrown up any ancillary gates quite yet. He's not thrown up any tech. It looks like he was dispatching of that Overlord for the time being.
Yep.
And he's not gone up to gas 3 or 4 yet either.
Just probing up. Making a lot of probes, currently boosting those out as fast as he can, getting himself a really strong economy. But yeah, now that he's kind of cleaned things out, he can put down some sort of tech building. And there it is, Robo. Okay, so he's going Robo initially. Now, this could be something that he could just be getting for observers. Throwing down a few more gateways here. Oh, and there's a very fast Spire from JookTo as well.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Okay.
Not a bad map for Mutalisks. So.
Yeah, I think it's a great map for Mutalisks. And, you know, they're very, very popular right now. Protoss are having kind of a hard time dealing with it. It's one of those things where it's easier to micro Mutalisks and just keep them alive and mass them up than it is for Protoss to stop Mutalisks with like a good Blink Stalker control or Storm from Templar. It's one of those things where doing something is easier than defending against it, so in that case, when that happens, you usually see a lot of games go that way.
And this is not bad read on JookTo's part as well, because HasuObs does love playing a very, very heavy upgrade style of play. And, looks like JookTo is going to see everything. Yeah, sees the Robo and the 2 gates, and could be in danger of just not having enough stuff to defend against Mutalisks that come out in a bit.
Yeah, Twilight Council started as soon as that Overseer was taken out, so probably be going for some sort of Blink play with an Observer as well. You know, maybe just added the Robo in there for the threat of roaches, possibly, but more likely just going to use that for getting some scouting and then the eventual switch over to Colossus. But yeah, 8 mutas, 9 mutas on the way already for JookTo, and 5 Mutalisks is the magic number to one-shot workers, so 9 is going to be plenty with that. I mean, he can afford to get in there and be very, very aggressive with that number of Mutalisks to start off with.
Yeah, and looks like he flooded in a bunch of Lings after that as well. He doesn't have too many on the field right now, so those will help defend if necessary, but there's a Spine Crawler coming up the front for defense, and you always like to point out that you need lots of Spine Crawlers if you're going to pull this off.
Yeah, generally you do want to have a good amount of Spine Crawlers early on, just to kind of keep things safe, and then as the game goes on, you need more and more at your expansions to stay safer and try to delay the push, basically. But we'll see. I like this really fast Muta, though. This is very cool. And you can see how annoying this is going to be for JookTo to deal with.
Yeah, well, we'll see if HasuObs can kill a couple of those. One goes down right away. Mutalisks are starting to make their way over to the natural now. One Photon Cannon was coming up inside of the main, but
nothing
none
in the natural.
have hidden in the natural at all.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's going to kill some more probes here, it looks like.
Yeah.
And then just flying away. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to risk losing any of these mutas.
Yeah, Blink not quite finished up, unfortunately.
Yep.
And look at this. JookTo actually double expanding out of this. Hatcheries over at his 3rd, and the more hidden one over at the 12 o'clock position as well.
Yeah, with this style, you're going to be limited as far as your gas goes to the number of Mutalisks you can create at a time. So you're going to have these extra minerals, and you can use that to drone up. You can use that to take more bases. You know, you can use that to get a lot of Lings and then also upgrades and things like that. So yeah, it's a style that ends up kind of just working out really well money-wise for Zerg if they can stay safe enough in the early game to pull it off. And on a big map like this, you can just rush right to it without worrying about too many big early game pushes from Protoss. Those generally have not been happening quite as often as they used to on big maps like this.
Well, what HasuObs does have going in his favor, though, is that he's got he's got +2 weapons on the way. He's got a good number of Stalkers. Blink is finished, and he's got Photon Cannons for defense. So he certainly is amassing a pretty strong army himself, but his opponent sitting outside of his bases, taking basically complete map control. Nice Blink there, picks off 1 Mutalisk. He hadn't revealed it up to that point, so JookTo may not have known if he was... I would assume that it was on the way, but if it was finished or not by then.
Yep. He knows that now. It's pretty common, of course, for Protoss to go for something like Blink in this case. And they'll nearly never put the Twilight Council in a place where you can pick it off with your mutas, so you kind of just have to get ready for that. Now, it's interesting to see how Protoss players react to this. We can see that HasuObs right now, at least, is going for the cannon route, and with enough mutas, you take out those cannons. Oh, wow, nice Blink, though.
Very nice.
Not expecting that, I suppose. And then a lot of Protoss players do choose to go to Templar a little bit later in the game.
He's actually just killed another 4 mutas recently, so that muta count is dwindling a little bit down to 4. We do have many upgrades, melee upgrades for ground units along with Carapace, and +2 weapons for units through the air. But now HasuObs finishing, or setting up a 3rd base, defending it already with a few cannons, has his Blink Stalkers there, and manages to snag yet another Mutalisk kill.
Yeah, I do wonder if HasuObs, or if JookTo rather, is being a little bit too aggressive with these mutas. I mean, he's been losing quite a few to Blink Stalkers. HasuObs has been doing a great job being in the right place at the right time for this. So he needs to be careful. I mean, if this strategy kind of relies on getting just an overwhelming amount of Mutalisks, and if you keep losing them like that, it just makes it take even longer. Yeah, losing another Muta right there. Ouch.
Yeah, that's
gotta be careful with that. I mean, he is getting ahead on supply. He is on 4 bases. So the other side of this, you know, the side of it that lets him take a lot of additional bases and just be very macro intensive is working fine. He needs to be careful not to lose too many Mutas right now.
Well, HasuObs picks up on this 4th now, and he sees that it's not terribly well saturated yet, so it came up not that long ago. But you're right, JookTo is pushing ahead in supply, but HasuObs is amassing a pretty powerful army himself. He's got a lot of Blink Stalkers, and he's got Templar with Storm on the way.
Yep, more Mutas coming to join the flock right now. And Infestation Pit as well. We could see a couple different directions from this. And yeah, those cannons are going to start to fall very, very quickly, especially now that +2 weapons is going to be finished soon. Once that happens, he's going to be able to take out things quite fast.
Oh, and he's just powering through the Nexus right now. Looks like Blink Stalkers are making their way up. Finally, though, one, and then just one Muta's gone down so far. The Overseer may fall. Nope, it doesn't. More cannons are going to have to come up. So once again, a nice job of just pitting HasuObs in, forcing him to put so many resources into photon cannons.
Yeah, this is becoming a big mineral sink for HasuObs, having to kind of remake those. And if you don't, you know, you're going to take even more damage. But soon Storm will be finished, so he's going to have another answer to the Mutalisks before too long.
Now let's take a look here as a 5th basis coming up for JookTo at the moment. And HasuObs, there's a couple of changelings outside your base. They're trying to get in. It's not going to work too well. Mutalisks are swinging into the 3rd, though, and that's going to force HasuObs to react. A little more damage being done. The shield's actually biting the dust, but the Overseer falls. No more Mutas going down, though. Yeah, that Muta count is starting to get a little bit crazy, though. Look at that. And a Nidus Worm on the way for JookTo. Very cool stuff. All right. I like it. That's neat. Yeah, Nidus and Hive and Infestors and Pathogen Glands finishing for them with 2/2 upgrades on the way. So JookTo is investing in a ton of stuff right now. And, you know, you said it, HasuObs has been sitting inside of his 3 bases this entire 17 minutes, only on 140 supply. Yes. JookTo is expanding everywhere. Oh, but he eats a big storm there. Yeah, got to be a little bit careful with that. Yeah. I'm not quite sure what he's going to do with this Nidus. This might just be used to kind of transfer units around the map, too. It's not like he can really Nidus into his opponent's base too effectively with Blink Stalkers there. Yeah, we see a Nidus coming up, but as you can see, with Blink Stalkers, it's not a very big threat. So I think a better use of that in this case would be to just kind of use it to transport drones and things to expansions. Ow. Whoa! All autumn colors represented now as those Mutalisks are starting to get pretty low. He did pull the Blink Stalkers out of position, but now because those Mutas are so low, 4, 5 Mutas falling there. Man. Not that many probes killed. Second Spire on the way, too, for JookTo, which is a little bit odd. He could be using it to get upgrades quickly, I guess, but he's already been getting upgrades fairly fast. So I wonder why he's getting that double Spire. I would have to imagine it's for upgrades, otherwise it's a mistake, obviously, but a little bit surprised to see that. Well, this has not started turning into a greater Spire because of the upgrade it was getting, so... Yep, I think it's a way to just continue to get upgrades and that greater Spire, probably. That makes sense. Well, we'll see if he does that here in a bit. Way to do it. Blink Stalkers making their way down. JookTo losing so many Mutas. He's down to 15 now. He's got a few Infestors. Greater Spire's coming up, but look at this. All of a sudden, HasuObs is equal on supply because his opponent's trying to invest in tech. He's trying to push across the map. Another Nidus coming in, and if he can get a lot of Zerglings in that base, that is going to make it pretty tough for the Blink Stalkers. Nope, Nidus taken out very, very quickly. It has, like, no hit points. Yeah. It does go down, and that's obviously JookTo has quite a few resources to go around, or did, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, 12 Corruptors coming up now. And at this point, yeah, I mean, it's actually... It looks like he's being very careless with the Mutas here, but he's also making sure that he has lots of room supply-wise for Infestors and Broodlords at this point, too. So he can afford to just kind of keep HasuObs making cannons instead of other things like bases. And then he'll be able to max out on Broodlord Infestors, I think, right now. And he does have a farm of Spine Crawlers coming up. Well, there they are. Wow. That's what I was looking for. That works. Yeah, he's going to try and remain defended up there in the top left-hand corner. He had plenty of minerals to go around and didn't need so many drones sitting out there. But +2 Carapace coming up for those air units. Greater Spire's finished. There's the Corruptors, and here's a few Broodlords starting to morph in. Yep, 6 Broodlords on the way.
Not a ton of AoE ground stuff out on the map right now for JookTo. He does have High Templar, but he really only has just one Colossi with that army. So that is something that's still going to make it, make Zerglings effective. There we go. Now some High Templars being added in there.
Yeah, there's a few sitting on the field, 6 of them it looks like, and these are actually, the ones that are there are actually incredibly high energy ones, so they'll be able to layer down a few storms, and if they're able to catch any of those ground forces, it's not going to be a good situation for JookTo. He is almost maxed though, he's got tons of Spine Crawlers, he's very well upgraded. Broodling Strike is actually incredibly strong now, 24 damage for each of those Broodlings.
Well, that's, the first hit is air damage, and then all the hits after is ground, so... Yep, so this will help his ground damage at least.
Yeah.
Or air damage, I'm sorry.
The air damage, yeah. He's going to be going up to 26 with his 3rd upgrade, and then, of course, he'll have, those Broodlings already have 2/2 upgrades. That's what they were at.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
They're pretty hardy by themselves. Storm catching a few Broodlords, doing some damage. Looks like HasuObs just trying to take another base. Blinks up, though. He's just going to try and take this out. Picks off 2 Broodlords right away. Then a Storm hits an enormous amount of Zerglings, driving those units away for the moment. HasuObs, pretty good control right there to deflect that first attack.
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to lose too much to this. What? He's not controlling his infestors. I'm not quite sure what he's doing here.
No.
Looks like he's just got enough DPS to handle it, though.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to push on through.
Yeah.
Let's see. There are still 7 Broodlords remaining. So, but you know what? HasuObs has got a pretty good economy now, and he's reinforcing with Blink Stalkers very quickly.
Yep.
All
that
right.
is true, but with the infestors there, he needs to be so careful about how he decides to blink. More Broodlords on the way. Upgrades like crazy for JookTo.
Yeah, there are.
And it looks like he might just be able to take the game right here.
Well, we're going to find out. As HasuObs, he's pushing his way up. He exposes his Colossi there for a second to draw some fire. You can blink in with the Stalkers here in a bit. He's waiting on a couple of Templar. Now there are Templar, and we'll see if he can drop down. Ooh, pretty good storms actually, hitting a lot of the Zerglings as well. Those Broodlords eating a lot of damage. That does open it up long enough for the Blink Stalkers to make their way up. 1 Broodlord goes down, a second falls. 3, yeah, and now they're starting to fall pretty quickly, but then the Fungals hit afterwards. A lot of action going on here. The Colossi doing a very nice job killing Broodlings from the back. Of course, 90 kills between them, primarily Zerglings and Broodlings, but still offering that splash support to those Blink Stalkers.
That ended up in kind of a stalemate there. Neither player really coming out ahead. I mean, JookTo lost a lot of Broodlords, but HasuObs lost a lot of units himself as well. Now, the upgrades are looking pretty good for both of these guys right now. 3/3 already out for HasuObs, and it's about to be 3 melee attack, 3 air attack, plus 3 carapace for ground. He's making more Broodlords, more infestors, so both of these guys kind of looking in pretty good shape right now, although JookTo does have the economic advantage by having all those bases.
Adrenal glands finished up for him as well, so the Zerglings are quite a bit more powerful. Yep. But as you can see how much faster the destructible debris go down, and it sounds silly, but it is actually something to note. But yeah, HasuObs has secured himself a 4th base now, and he's going to try and move up, but sees the wall of Spine Crawlers and says, no thank you.
Yep, still going to need to worry about a blink down there later on, but for now those bases are safe. Oh, the Infestor's getting a little bit ahead of themselves. Whoops.
Yeah, and pretty good split there from HasuObs as well to avoid getting a lot of units fungled. Let's see here now. His 3/3 is just finishing up for JookTo. He's also going into that +3 air carapace as well, so his units on the ground are going to be, and in the air, are incredibly powerful.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And here's the thing, is that one thing that JookTo's been doing really well this entire time has been keeping HasuObs on his side of the map. HasuObs has very, very rarely been able to try to put any pressure at all on his Zerg opponent this game.
We, of course, do have a Fleet Beacon coming up. We're at that stage in the game where an Archon Toilet is a very real possibility, but the Nexus goes down. And JookTo does keep his opponent now on 3 bases. HasuObs trying to move back up and sit down another Nexus. That's going to die immediately from these Broodlords, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That is huge. No cancel on that either, so he just loses the minerals right when he needs them the most. This is a dire situation here for HasuObs. He's basically only mining on 1 base right now. That base is getting low. He's got a mothership on the way.
Yes.
But, you know, I mean, he's going to need to be about as effective as possible with it to make it worthwhile.
That's it is certainly a possible game changer, though. He's got a lot of splash damage on the ground with the Archons. Can set them in there. Let's take a look, though. What kind of mining is he doing? Well,
a lot at 1 base.
Not great. Yes.
Yep.
Well, he is almost max, though, with a pretty powerful army. But, of course, JookTo is now sieging up his front wall. That could be a problem. 10 Broodlords sitting there, of course, maxed on upgrades. Those Zerglings as powerful as they'll get. Ultralisk Cavern on the way as well. That Mothership still 80 seconds away. It's being chrono boosted, though, so it'll be here a little bit quicker than that.
Yep. That's right. And this is kind of the final stand for HasuObs. He's really feeling the pressure now.
Oh,
goodbye, Cybernetics Core. You are going down. That is a lot of Broodlords as well. This is it.
He's just delaying until the Mothership comes out. If the Nexus falls first before anything else, the Mothership won't get out there. It's so close to finishing, though. Just 25 seconds away. The Colossi, yes, keeping those Broodlings on edge right now. You know the Mothership's about to pop up.
He's not going to have enough for Vortex once it does come up, though. He's still going to be lacking energy, but he does have the invisibility. And I don't think that JookTo has any detection there at all.
No, he's just trying to chain fungal right now. He throws in a lot of Zerglings underneath. I don't know if he has any detection. Yeah, the Infestors all get taken out. The Infested Terrans going down as well, so no more anti-air to the Mothership. Look at that. HasuObs has actually rallied back and defeated most of that army. Just Broodlords left now. They're trying to get away, but the Broodlord count is falling rapidly down to just 3. However, JookTo was able to reproduce so fast with his great economy.
Yeah, look at that. He is already basically maxed out again, even after losing everything. And at the end of the day, HasuObs beats the army, but he is still in dire straits. 14 Ultralisks on the way right now.
God.
Wow. But, you know, he's going to need some detection still. He's going to need to get some Overseers out there. And he doesn't have a lot of gas right now, too. So he might be kind of shooting himself in the foot. Wow, I was going to say those are lucky Broodlords. But nope, they're not. They're dead.
Bye-bye. So JookTo has his Ultralisk on the way. HasuObs had enough for a Nexus, though. He's got some resources banked, and he's not depositing them into units quite yet, as a matter of fact. Oh, he was supply block for a very long time. That would explain it. And he's going to try and push ahead, draw some of the Ultralisks away. He throws Zerglings so quickly, even as upgraded as they are. Mothership is sitting there overhead, has enough for a Vortex. Now Vortex is in quite a few Ultralisks.
Yep,
and then backs away.
Does have the Overseer, so those Ultralisks are just going for a fantastic ride. You know, whenever they go through there, I always wonder if, like, in the Stargate laboratory from the TV show, on the other end, some Ultralisks just, like, pop out for a little while. Yep. They're like,
that's awesome.
What the?
What is this? What? Hey, guys, what's up? I'd be more scared to see Archons, honestly.
It's been working out.
All right. Ultra's moving away right now, and this is not a bad army from HasuObs to deal, especially with the Cloak in there, to deal with the Ultras. Ultras are trying to make their way up now, attacking from 2 sides, just trying to brute force their way in, but the detection is done. The detection was just killed. There's the fungal, though, so that the detection is lessened for just a little bit, but the Ultras were dealt the damage that was necessary. The Mothership finally goes down, but the Ultras are not going to break through.
Yeah, all those Archons with their plus damage to biological just tear through the Ultralisks. It's not surprising at all. I'm very surprised that JookTo decided to go for that. And he's sticking with it. More Ultralisks getting Burrow as well. But now he's going to need to play a little bit of the defensive game. He's got a lot of Spine Crawlers to delay with, though.
Yes, he does. And Spine Crawler's pretty powerful at delaying for those Ultras to come up with a few more units as well. One Broodlord just sitting in the back, a couple of Corruptors up as well, but the Corruptors are going to get picked apart pretty quickly.
Yep,
Bye-bye.
Not going to make it. There's a Nidus Worm coming out, too.
Oh, where's it at? Where's it at?
I don't know.
It looks like it may just be used to move units around, I think.
I think so. I believe so.
Not actually sure, because I don't see one inside of HasuObs base.
Yep.
All right, but let's see here. So now 167 to 140 supply advantage for HasuObs. How ridiculous, though, to think that this game was based on keeping this Nexus alive so a Mothership would pop out.
Second Mothership is on the way, too, now for HasuObs. The first one worked out pretty well for him. And look at this. So he's starting to have to do some long-distance mining. He's got a lot of probes and not a lot to do with them. So HasuObs still economically a little bit shakier. He's definitely better than he had been, you know, like 5 minutes ago, but still a little bit shaky.
Yeah, I mean, his opponent's mining at about twice the rate right now, and just continuing to power on the Ultralisks. 2 more coming up now. That's going to give him a total of 10. As a matter of fact, don't think he wants to get caught in an Archon toilet with those Broodlords.
Really. No, Broodlords and Ultras on the way right now for JookTo, so he's going to try to go for a very, very high-tech late-game army. That is a lot of gas being invested in there, too. But, you know what? He's got the bases to do it right now, and he's got room to take even more gas. So he's actually in pretty good shape.
Well, let's see here, though, as I'm just trying to take a look. There's the mothership. So I was waiting for 181 supply now to 162 in favor of HasuObs. HasuObs trying to establish another nexus, probably going to try and get 2 up. And Broodlord sitting at the back, picking away at the assimilator. So devious, Broodlord.
Yep.
And
he's going to pay.
Yep. I was found out. The jig is up.
He's okay.
All right. Well, let's see here. So more Ultralisks on the way. Finally some Infestors. Actually, that's kind of what I was hoping for to support those units. And, you know, HasuObs is almost maxed. JookTo's got a ton of resources available, though, but not really putting them into much at the moment.
Immortals being produced by HasuObs as well. Those will be quite handy against those Ultralisks.
Yeah, very true. 2 Broodlords now, and they really just want to take out that assimilator. They do. Grats. JookTo off on the right-hand side.
Congrats on taking out that refinery. You're the man.
You're the man.
You're the man, JookTo.
Oh, and Overlords pick up on a big probe transfer, so he'll know that another base is going down. Ultralisks look like they're going to try and move in, though. Sorry, on the right-hand side, HasuObs actually taking out a base at the same time that JookTo's trying to come over to the left-hand side, and this would be very, very bad for HasuObs.
Yep, he does lose that base. He now only has the one down at the bottom at the 6 o'clock position.
Yeah, and HasuObs is trying to run up. Of course, that base was revealed. Changelings filtering in amongst the army. We have a couple more gas coming up for JookTo right now, but that's actually it on the production tab. HasuObs doesn't really have much of an economy. Now finally starting it as everything starts to roll in, warping in some Zealots at the same time, and he's going to try and take out yet another base.
It's a big army that JookTo has to deal with. He's going to lose this one for sure. And I don't know, it's just so tough to engage at. There's so much DPS in that army. Whoa! Oh, the Ultra's getting a little bit overzealous. They're like, we are Ultralisks, man. They're ultra brave. Another Nidus Worm on the way. It looks like this time.
Let's see.
Where is it? Oh, it's down there, but one Zealot manages to take it out.
1 plus 3 Zealot.
Those Nidus Worms, man, they're not the toughest things ever.
There's another one as well. I'm not actually sure where that one's popping up at, so I apologize. We'll try and track it down at some point, but I'm more worried about this army that's posturing in the middle of the map for HasuObs.
Yeah, I think the Nidus is probably just for transferring units between bases quickly again.
Yeah, very true. Oh, but we have some Zerglings running down as this Nexus is certainly in danger.
Yep, now there is a Templar and some Zealots there, so he might still be able to defend it. We'll see. Entire army coming down to try to flank these things. And let's see, will he be able to cause a cancel on that Nexus?
On this one, more than likely, but the one up at the top, and it's just not canceled.
No cancel. Yep.
Well, it looks like he delayed long enough to be able to save this base, which was very, very nice. The Ultralisk not going to be able to stand up against this army, of course. And waiting for +2 shields, as a matter of fact, out of HasuObs. Ah, there's a Forge coming back up. There we go.
Yep.
All right, I think he was looking for the same thing. Mothership almost on max energy now. Do we have Neural Parasite finished for the Infestors?
I don't believe so. No Neural Parasite quite yet. And I don't know if JookTo is really the type of player to want to go for that. I mean, at this point, the fungal growth is going to be a little bit more useful, although it would be cool to see him Neural Parasite the Mothership and Vortex his own units or something, you know?
Oh, of course. That's kind of what I was hoping for there all the time, so always remember that Kibikaki versus Stefano game from IPL 3. Stefano said that reason he lost that is because he didn't know what the hotkey was for Vortex offhand, so because he did get a Neural Parasite on Kibikaki's Mothership, but all right, here we go. It looks like HasuObs is just going to start going through the Spine Crawler wall and start trying to eliminate some tech. He has a Dark Shrine coming up along with +2 shields, and at the same time, JookTo, he's running through with a few Ultras. No, maybe just setting up for a big flank in the middle of the map. Thought he was going to try and opt for a base trade, but HasuObs is just going to run back after he took out those structures.
Yep, that's right. He's going to need to defend his mining bases, but there are Ultralisks going pretty much everywhere. Those guys are going to tear through stuff pretty quickly. Another Spire coming up for JookTo. Did he lose any at any point? I suppose he must have.
We'll go ahead and take a look here in just a second. The Archons are offering some pretty good stop, or just a delay. That's what I was looking for. Long enough for the army to come back.
HasuObs, though,
Oh, wow. A lot of Broodlords rolling through. They're just going to start picking away at the Archons. God, Broodling Strike is so strong when it has +3 weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ultralisk dying there. This is kind of turned into a little bit of a crazy scenario, though. HasuObs may be forced to rebuild back down at his, well, I guess we can call them 4th and 5th bases. I don't even know. These bases down here at the 6 o'clock.
Yep, taking out these production buildings are really going to slow down HasuObs, so this will be really nice for JookTo to be able to do that.
Well, let's see here. Looks like HasuObs may be thinking about counterattacking as well. Yeah, he's just going to go for it. See you later, Zerglings. And HasuObs going to roll his way in. Not much that JookTo can do about that. No, he still had those 2 Spires sitting there. He's just, I believe, in preparation, putting up another one on the left-hand side.
I think he's just going to go ahead and say, hey, go ahead and take out my main, man. It doesn't matter because I'm just going to rebuild those buildings already. I have a ton of resources. Very interesting style here by JookTo.
All right. Well, HasuObs is preparing back, like I said, down at the 6 o'clock position now, as he's got a couple of gateways, he's got the Twilight Council, everything he needs to be able to rebuild eventually. But the tech for JookTo is actually getting destroyed as well.
Yep. And so it's more important for JookTo, or more important for HasuObs rather, that his tech is being destroyed. JookTo is already rebuilding. It's going to take a little bit longer for HasuObs, it seems like.
Well, just getting that pylon farm going whenever you don't have that many resources, that's just annoying.
Absolutely. He's at 169 out of 116 supplies. That army's not getting any bigger anytime sooner.
Well, let's see here now as we have a huge amount of minerals saved up for JookTo as well. But, of course, you know, it's not like he can just dump those into mineral-only units like Zerglings. They would just get destroyed really quickly. All right, Greater Spire going down, but already a Greater Spire morphing in for JookTo. Guys, we're still cross positions on Terminus, but if you're just joining us, we started at the 3 and 9 o'clock positions.
Yep, it's now cross positions in the opposite way here. I'm really wondering why JookTo didn't decide to just kind of siege up the new main base for HasuObs with Broodlords and kind of sit out in that open spot where the Blink Stalkers can't get to him.
Yeah.
A little bit surprised about that, but I think he might just head right back down there after he kills the rest of the buildings in the main.
All right, well, looks like Hatchery's going down, and now HasuObs trying to siege up this base that's sitting inside of the pocket. JookTo has a few Corruptors, though, and those are quite powerful with their upgrades, but there's a Mothership behind. And HasuObs going to have to defend that Mothership pretty well. And that could go down pretty quickly to those very, very well upgraded Corruptors.
Yep. That's right. Now, the supply lead still goes to HasuObs for now, but that's only because he's got that big army outer on the map. That might change soon. We'll see.
Well, a few Ultralists around the left-hand side. Not really sure what they're going to be up to in a bit. Don't feel secure moving out across the map. Taking a look at the units tab, we're at 60 workers to 48. HasuObs a little bit down in that regard. Looks like he's going to go after yet another base. He's got to take down those destructible debris. He's actually going out to the pocket as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5, 6 bases mined out on the map. 7, 8. So 8 of the bases thus far have been mined out, almost a 9th.
Wow. Yeah, this game is getting a little bit insane. And shield upgrades on the way for HasuObs too. He's been delaying on that for quite a while, but now he's going to get them.
Yeah, and it looks like the Ultralists are finally driven away there. They are really resilient, though, even in the face of well-upgraded units.
Yep.
And HasuObs is going to back away now. He's killed all of the hatcheries there, content with the amount of damage that he's done with those Stalkers. Doesn't see the need to do anything else. Going to go back and poke around and see what else he can kill. Looks like, in this case, it's a hatchery coming up on the left-hand side. He doesn't get the kill.
I just want to stay safe. He's like, you do it. Oh, he still cancels
and then he gets the cancel.
That was odd. That was a strange engagement here. So
that's weird.
If you're JookTo right now, you know, what he's going to want to do is just sort of sit around, try to max out, and then once he's maxed, sort of try to push and stay safe about everything here. I mean, if he can push that little pocket expansion where the army is at, if he can get another good engagement with the army, he can win this game. But in order to do that, he needs to be at his absolute maximum capacity because he's going up against a composition and upgrades that are going to be very, very tough to fight.
Well, there's a bunch of spine crawlers that were morphing in, a few of those getting killed up at the front, and JookTo is just reproducing on Broodlords right now. How many does he have on the field? 15! Pretty staggering number, but of course, it's a fully functional Mothership with 200 energy for a double Vortex, if the situation calls for it.
I saw the most Broodlords I'd ever seen in a game last night on a different show I do. Destiny made 31 Broodlords against Axlab. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Well, we're going to be up to 20 here in a second once this next round of Corruptors turns into it. So no small number there.
It's getting close, that's for sure. Oh, now the Broodlord numbers are going down.
Oof.
Whoops, got to be careful with those things. They are extremely slow.
And there's +3 shields, so the ground upgrades are complete for HasuObs. Standard 48-minute 3-shield Mothership time that we're seeing here. I mean, this is so common.
All the upgrades are complete for everybody right now, basically. I mean, the only thing that hasn't been researched yet for JookTo is the missile upgrades because he's not making roaches or anything like that.
Let's see, we've got 2 Stargates coming up for HasuObs as well.
That's a good idea. Yep, in very late game, you definitely want to go for those Void Rays to handle things like Broodlords and Ultralisks. They do that plus damage to massive units, so that does make them quite good. So, yeah, good decision by HasuObs to start working in that direction.
We'll probably see some upgrades as well for
man.
those air units, but one Broodlord does go down. JookTo a little bit slow to react there. And let's go ahead and take a look around as we have more Broodlords being added in. Stargate's finishing up. We'll see if he decides to reproduce on Stargate units when the time comes. He was being pretty liberal with his Stalkers there, trying to pick off some Broodlords. So.
Yep, that's right. Trying to free up some room for some Void Rays, probably.
Just sacrifice some of his own Zealots.
Yep.
Now, theoretically, according to lore, he would have brought those back in to become Immortals, but
maybe next game.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yep. They're the Void Rays starting now for HasuObs, so we are moving into very, very, very late game. ZVP. This is kind of a stage of the game we almost never ever see.
Well, Void Ray, Archon, Colossus, Blink Stalker. Certainly an interesting unit composition. It looks like HasuObs wants to go for it. He's actually going to push JookTo back for a little while and then blinks away. Doesn't get too many units to overcommit there. A couple more Stalkers being reproduced right now.
Yeah, he can risk those Stalkers now. He can jump in there, pick off a Broodlord or 2, and even if he loses some Stalkers doing it, it's worth it because now he can just replace them with Void Rays, which are going to be better for him later in the game anyway.
Well, looks like the mothership was a little bit away there. I guess didn't want to get caught by any units or anything like that. Feedback hitting Queens. Not too often you see that.
Yep.
And HasuObs, he's trying to put down another base on the right-hand side as well. JookTo actually coming through on the left-hand side now, circumventing the army once again. We've seen this repeated a few times in this game, and he's just going to try and go after this Nexus.
Yeah, and killing this Nexus would be a big deal, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Nope, the army for HasuObs is back. And see, the army for HasuObs is just too good. Oh, I guess he does get the Nexus.
Plus 3 Bruising Strike.
Strong, man. Wow.
Woo.
No kidding. All right.
Wow.
Well, JookTo loses his base, but he's got some more on the way. And the economy for both of these guys is pretty much stable again.
Yeah.
A little bit gaslight for JookTo, but other than that, both looking pretty good.
JookTo just sitting on 155 supply right now. Hasn't added anything in a while because he has, I guess, has been a bit gas-starved this whole game. Now adding in Infestors. God, Broodlord count is starting to get high. 18 now, 11 Corruptors still around. There's Neural Parasite. I was waiting for it.
All right, so that'll be nice for controlling the mothership or possibly like a Colossus or something like that. Yeah, this is going to be insane. How many? What?
That was a 100-kill Colossus. You didn't see that?
Wow.
It's Broodlings, but still.
Does it stop at that point? Can you get
crap.
higher than 100 kills?
We're going to follow that Colossus in a bit. So.
I think you can get higher than that.
Well, he doesn't pick one up there, but that's even though that is.
We're gonna watch him. We need to name him. Calvin, the Colossus.
Calvin.
Calvin, the Executor Colossus.
All right. Well, we'll see if Calvin. We'll see if Calvin goes over 100 here in a second.
Calvin Colossus.
Oh God! I think I have some of his clothes. Anyway,
Calvin, that's right.
But
try the new style from Calvin Colossus.
It's
the new
timeless.
fragrance
of
Calvin Colossus.
The Ire line from Calvin Colossus.
That's right.
All right.
When you want to smell like ire. We're Calvin Colossus.
I don't think I want that actually.
I had a Calvin Colossus watch once. It was pretty good. But the problem was that it was cloaked, so
yes,
I had to use detection to see it.
Yes,
kind of annoying.
Mine, I tried to throw mine away, and it just came back on my desk and said, "I return to serve."
Hey, there you go.
Let's see here. We have
you win. That was funny.
Oh, thank you.
It's a funny joke.
Appreciate it. 53 minutes into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are approaching one of the longest games I've ever casted on a major stage, I suppose. So,
wow, 53 minutes. That could be the longest game.
Yeah, is that longer? Are we past Kibikaki versus Stefano? I think so.
Well, yeah, I think we are. No, were we? Maybe.
I don't know. It was close.
I don't
56 minutes, I think that game was. So
interesting. I can't tell. I'm just distracted by the wonderful scent of Calvin Colossus.
Calvin Colossus.
That's right.
Look at the yellow down
Calvin
here. This
Colossus
is
cologne.
this is so much yellow.
This is
what an hour-long game reduces my casting to. Oh, it looks like actually HasuObs thinks about going for it, picking off the front line of spine crawlers at the very least.
Little poke. Yeah, I don't know. Calvin's not getting any more kills, man.
No.
A little bit worried about him. He's starting to slip. He's like, Calvin, you can't get lazy after you stop it. Oh, there we go.
101.
Right. 101.
We'll keep following Calvin. We've had him selected for about 5 minutes now, and
that's right.
Going up pretty high. So
Calvin Colossus, man. I mean, he's a hero for the whole Protoss race.
Well, we're just
even though he's not actually sentient, he's just a robot.
Well, when he once the broodlings start attacking again, that's when we'll see them really go up. All right, 102 now as he keeps moving forward. We're going to see a vortex. Oh, yes, we do. A lot of broodlords, double vortex, as a matter of fact. Archons filtering in afterwards.
Oh, the Archons jumping in. There was no neural parasite or anything like that. And what's going to happen when they pop out?
I don't know. The broodlords are going to be stacked up on top, though. Let's take a look at the units tab. 17 broodlords, and all of them falling down.
Man.
7 have already gone down. Storm's hitting the rest of the units as well. Oh, but Neural Parasite hitting a couple of Archons. Now we have a big back and forth.
Neural Parasite to press ahead. Archons. I think Calvin got Neural Parasited for a second.
No, Calvin!
Don't turn your back on the Protoss race. HasuObs busting through this line from oGs.JookTo. The supplies really starting to go in the Protoss favor. He's got so many gateways he can produce. Those stalkers. Wow, Kelvin.
Oh, Mothership.
Kelvin lives.
Boom. Mothership goes down. Calvin adds another 17 kills to his repertoire there. And Zergling's filtering it beneath. That's actually a really good fungal growth there.
Yes, it is.
Calvin dies!
Calvin, no!
123 kills on him before he went down, though. He was a hero. He will be remembered forever.
He was brave, man. I'm going to put him on a Christmas card or something. A memorial.
Oh, God.
We'll rename Terminus the Calvin Colossus Memorial Map. I think that's the, we'll have a Calvin Colossus Memorial Park and Calvin Colossus Memorial Highway.
I'm okay with that. Whoa!
Wow.
Is this?
No, that's not Calvin.
That's like Calvin Part 2.
Calvin's been overshadowed by his...
Oh.
Poor Calvin.
Screw you, Calvin.
His legend didn't last very long.
Yeah. Bill. So.
Bill?
Bill the Colossus.
I want to call him William. All right, anyway. Zerglings running into this space are going to try to kill some probes. Doing a little bit of hold position micro to do that, but not going to do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah.
William Colossus, though.
William Colossus. He thinks that's too formal. I apologize.
Sounds like a car company.
He's like William Colossus.
William Colossus. Drive the new William Colossus X3A.
Yes. Protoss would name their cars like appliances, much like the Germans. All right, so let's see here. 147 supply to 114. JookTo still sitting on 4,300 minerals at the moment.
Yeah,
we have
another fleet beacon.
Another fleet beacon. Not often you see 2 fleet beacons.
Dude, this is one of those PVZs where the Mothership becomes invaluable to the Protoss player. I mean, he has really done a good job of using that in exactly the way it needs to be used. You know, getting things like Overseers killed quickly, doing things like vortexing. I mean, there's a lot of utility in the Mothership in late game PVZ. I mean, I can only imagine that once the Mothership is taken out of the game, supposedly like that'll happen in Heart of the Swarm, you know, what will Protoss really have in that sort of situation?
Well, let's see. You know, possibly with the Fleet Beacon having new uses as well. I remember you talking about this a little bit during the talk show last night. Not just carriers being introduced, but possibly even trying to force a resurgence of Mothership play. But
maybe, unless they take it out.
Well, yes. Well, we'll see what Heart of the Swarm brings or how Fleet Beacon use is altered after this next patch. But all right, so we're about to pass the 1 hour mark, guys. Hope you guys have settled in because this is a 12-hour cast tonight.
There you go. So, third Mothership on the way now for HasuObs. It's something that I generally don't expect to say when I start a game. Yes, it is our third Mothership. More Void Rays. This is going to be really the thing that tips the scales at this point. I think it's going to be the Void Rays, just doing so much damage. Oh, that Colossus. 147 kills. What a hero. What a champion.
Yeah, forget Calvin. You're done. You just got your memorial field renamed.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
That's how records go in sports, you know.
Basically.
Don't generally last very long, but all the Colossi now they're doping, so the records, you know, are they really legit?
He's the only Colossus there as well, so
I think he's becoming the dreaded Void Colossus.
Yes, he is.
Void Rays are merging with the Colossus heads. This happens sometimes in late games EVP. We get Void Colossus. He's like a quadruple Void Colossus, too.
Oh, boy. 1 hour, 1 minute. We are...
carriers.
Pretty staggeringly long in this game. What?
HasuObs is elected to lose the game, apparently.
Let's go ahead and take a look.
I'm just kidding. They're not that bad.
Well, you know what? Against what's sitting on the field, they could get fungled. The interceptors could get fungled pretty easily.
With the
but
upgrades,
there's not many corruptors.
Pretty good. Yeah, with the upgrades, they're going to be good. I feel like there is a place for carriers. It's just 9 times out of 10, they're just way, way, way too expensive to consider making in a real competitive game. So we'll have to see how it ends up working out for him.
I suppose if your opponent is purely Corruptor Broodlord. It makes some sense, but Mothership is done. We have another Mothership somewhere there. There she is. Mama Ship. That's Mama Ship number 3.
That's right. The last Colossus out there.
I'm gonna follow him, man. I want to see
now.
how many kills he works up to. So, and let's see as oh my God, that's just begging for a vortex.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, the Mothership doesn't quite have the energy for it yet, but it will very, very soon. JookTo, despite the number of bases he has, is mined out at most of them, so he doesn't quite have the economy that his Protoss opponent does. And I don't know. Oh, that doesn't help at all.
No.
A DT in there.
Yeah, that's no good. We're pretty much mined out the entire map, actually.
Yeah.
This
is
is
trying to catch it with the hold position to let the Overseer catch up. Nice job. That
very good.
JookTo.
Oh, and then lets it go. Just kidding. Oh no, I'm gonna kill you. All right, so we got 1 base of mining, 2 bases of mining for HasuObs. That's actually pretty full. I mean, he could do quite a bit of mining off of that if he can protect it effectively enough.
HasuObs is in great shape right now. I mean, he's still got a base completely to use yet. He's got another 2 bases mining. He's actually on 3 bases, whereas JookTo is basically on 1. Kind of like 1.5, sort of. So HasuObs looking pretty good.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can push up, make an attack here in a bit, or if he's going to continue to play defensive, starve his opponent out of the game. JookTo just continuing to move up, poke with a couple of shots, but he's got a pretty good spread on his Broodlords as well, so it's, you know, 1 Vortex isn't going to take everything, but...
More Stargates on the way for HasuObs as well. Yeah, he's just going to mass up Void Rays here late in the game. That should do pretty well.
Void Ray wall, man, pretty good.
Yep. Man,
here though,
this is about the latest late game Protoss army you could possibly have.
Yes.
Colossus, Mothership, Carrier, Void Ray, some Archons.
Just feedbacks the Overseer there, because why not? Gets off 1 storm before he dies.
He's actually just trying to free up supply. Oh no, he remakes a High Templar, so apparently not.
All right. Okay. Well, let's see here. A couple of Carriers in the mix now, with pretty good upgrades, as you've mentioned. It's like a... oh, he Neural Parasites, and he throws down the vortex!
This would be the time to attack. Is he going to go for it?
He's trying to go for it. He's swinging around his Broodlords.
Out of position.
Oh, that was so good by JookTo.
Oh, no, the unit's out of position. He's going to fungle everything when it pops out, though. Oh, nice feedback on that Infestor. Oh, he gets both of them.
So not much damage is going to be done, and HasuObs is able to get away. He mitigates the damage, but his base is being attacked right now on the left-hand side. JookTo takes that out. He's forcing a little bit over on the right-hand side as well, using good positioning. HasuObs is going to come back and just take out this line of Zerglings, though.
You know, he did use up most of the energy on the Mothership, too. That was a real valuable part of doing that, even if he wasn't able to kill the army.
And oh my God, JookTo may kill another base here as well. But with how quickly Broodling Strike goes through, he can just get off a couple of volleys and turn around.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will. Oh,
going
the
down
Nexus getting
so close.
Very low. Oh, he saves it at the last second.
Wow.
Oh, now the Void Rays come into action.
Okay, so there was a little bit of action there, as we said at the 1 hour, 6 minute, 15-second mark. JookTo, he doesn't have any gas left. He actually has none.
Well, here's what I'm waiting for JookTo to do. I mean, if you can Neural Parasite a Mothership and Vortex their army, and then throw in like 30 Banelings, that will end the game very, very quickly. I mean, we've seen Zerg players do that in the past, so I wonder if at some point that's going to occur to JookTo. I mean, here's the thing, though, is that, you know, units are, of course, invulnerable when they pop out, so you'd have to be able to control those Banelings and make them hold and not explode immediately, but
yeah,
it's still a possibility.
And JookTo's going to try and come back and take out this base. It's very low, just a couple of Broodling Strikes, and it will go down. And there it is. Bye-bye base. HasuObs relocating to the left-hand side.
Yep.
JookTo needs this base on the right-hand side. Like I said, he is literally mined out of gas. He cannot do any gas mining, and I think he's now... yeah, he's approaching mined out of minerals as well.
Well, that's the thing, is that JookTo doesn't just need to kill the bases. Now he needs to take them, too. He needs to find a way to hold those and use them himself. He can make a ton of spine crawlers right now. He can keep himself safe with that if he wants to. That's a good use for those minerals, but yeah, he really, really needs some gas.
All right, well, we have +3 air armor coming up now. Not often you see that in a game, and yeah, well, picks off one.
166 kills on that Colossus now.
I know, I've been following it the whole time, so we're going to keep doing this. He can just take out swaths of Zerglings. It's pretty amazing.
You know, despite the nice little moves from JookTo here and there, I can't help but thinking that mouz.HasuObs still has the big advantage in this game.
Yeah, I kind of get the same feeling.
That's about it. Looks like he's going to try to keep this space.
Well, we'll see if he can do that. It's certainly going to be picked up on, of course.
Well, he's going to make HasuObs have to attack up a hill, at least the ground units anyway. There's lots of stuff in the air, though, as well, that he needs to worry about.
Well, let's find out here as there are 5 carriers now with a 6th on the way, and he's going to try and move up with a bunch of stalkers. Blinks back now, see if he can get that army to kind of gather amongst itself and vortex it, but... Yep. All right, so let's see here. That is a crazy combination of units that I have sitting right there. I just wanted to select everything and see what I saw. That's kind of ridiculous. 170 kills on the Colossus now. And the space is going to go down for JookTo, but...
Doesn't matter.
Yep, pretty much.
Just the larva is the big damage there, but he can't really produce much anyway, so...
Very true.
Not a huge loss for JookTo, but...
Another base on the right-hand side, though.
Yep.
And he's gathering up all of his forces, and that would actually be prime Vortex material right there.
Yeah, I would say so. I think we're going to see HasuObs move in here pretty soon to attack. Well, maybe not. Maybe he's just going to play it safe.
Oh, he's swinging around with the carriers.
With the mothership, too. Yeah, I mean, this could see the Vortex here.
Let's see, as the carriers are on the left-hand side, it looks like they're just going to start picking away at the... taking out those spine crawlers pretty effectively.
Oh, it's so nice to see carriers in the game again. That was like my favorite unit in Brood War.
Yay, interceptors!
Yay.
I love just watching swarms of interceptors on the field. It's so much fun to watch.
Makes me feel good.
All right, so let's see here. We're at a standoff again. 1 hour and 10 minutes into this game. And JookTo, though, look at that. He's got another base. He could start up some gas mining once again, but HasuObs looks like he wants a pressure before that gets done. Nice job picking off one infestor there.
It would take a very long time to mine off that base to have enough gas to really do anything with. So, yeah, unfortunately, JookTo's still in a very, very tough situation right now.
All right, well, we'll see if HasuObs wants to go for it. He's going to move over to the left, it appears. And, didn't this game start with mutas? 2-base muta?
Yeah, I believe so.
Way back an hour ago or so.
Yeah.
Ooh, bye-bye drones. And a couple of bases going to go down once again. Again, not that big of a loss for JookTo. And he does get in there with a couple of changelings.
Yep.
Let's see here. That's quite. I don't know if I've seen more various different kinds of crawlers in one place before.
Yeah, this looks like a promo shot for the game or something right now.
Should do a slow pan with a weird angle.
This is what you could do with StarCraft 2. Yep.
Very scenic there. All right. Well, HasuObs doesn't want to attack into that. JookTo doesn't have enough to be able to max-remax. He is starting gas mining again, at least a modicum of it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mass Void Ray Carrier. 1 Colossus left over. Bill with 173 kills. Mothership sitting overhead with 200 energy. Could drop down a couple of vortexes if a prime opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, I think HasuObs is just making absolutely sure that he can win a fight when he decides to engage it. A little bit surprised he hasn't moved in yet, though. I mean, there's really not a lot of reason to wait at this point.
Well, building up anticipation, possibly. Writing a novel on the side.
Tabbing out Reading Team Liquid?
Possibly.
Is that all right?
Oh, he's got to watch out, though. Yeah. Oh, wow. Lings with a Adrenal Glance just go through buildings so quickly. That Nexus is going to fall. And HasuObs loses all of his mining.
Yep. That is all of his mining, except for a little bit down at his new third sort of thing.
We'll see if he wants to press it. He's getting closer. He's launching some interceptors, maybe trying to draw his opponent's army out of position. JookTo hasn't added a ton more units on yet, so still waiting for him to do just that.
He's got that exceptionally long range, too, with the carriers and everything like that as well, so he's going to be able to harass this quite a bit. Carriers are a great late-game siege unit for Protoss. Wow.
A little bit of a transfuse versus interceptor battle going on there.
Yeah, I think the interceptors win that one.
Yep. Carriers have to back up for just a minute, though. He's reproducing his his interceptors as soon as they go down. Good transfuse micro here from JookTo. Nonetheless, though, trying to keep these alive as long as possible and whittle down the interceptor numbers.
Yep. Oh, fungal is huge on those carriers, apparently.
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow, and he's going to kill them with those corruptors, too, possibly.
Yeah, 2 go down. It looks like HasuObs is going to roll in. A third may fall as well if he gets off one more volley. No, doesn't get the last one. But here comes HasuObs. He's going to push his way through right now. Do we see a vortex yet? Yes, 1 on the right-hand side. He's not dropped down 1 on the left-hand side quite yet. Doesn't feel confident enough to push in. Actually, not a bad defense right away from JookTo, but 5 more carriers are on the way.
Well, he's just whittling away JookTo as well, too. I mean, he's about 80 supply ahead now. Looking like, it's really, really looking like JookTo's going to lose this game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he can do anything about it. Our friendly Colossus has 190 kills now.
Wow.
And, continuing to push his way up. Let's see. All right, and we're once again at a bit of a standstill.
Yep.
As we have 4 more Corruptors, couple more Broodlords on the way as well. A lot more Corruptors, as a matter of fact, because this was quite a bit of gas mining. So he's going to buffer those numbers one more time for one more big push. HasuObs did put down another base. It was very annoying to have to lose that, though.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. HasuObs just looks like he's in fantastic shape. He's getting that +3 air weapons as well. Doesn't have it quite yet, apparently. Yeah, that's just going to be a ton of carriers.
I have a request to my friends over at r/StarCraft. I read you multiple times a day. We're following that Colossus, of course, as this game progresses. When it hits its max kills, or it's about to die, take a screenshot and post it. I want to see it on r/StarCraft. I want to see if there's been a unit.
Calvin deserves it more. But
oh, I don't know, man. William is a hoss,
William
and
is just a copycat.
Have we had? I'm curious now. Have we had a unit in professional StarCraft 2 play? I'm not talking like someone on the ladder. Oh, happened to get 7,000 kills with a Colossus or a siege tank or something. In professional play, has there been a unit with more kills than that Colossus?
I think I remember hearing about one that had 200 kills, 200 something. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm sure the internet knows.
Well, let us know. I'm at Cat's Pajamas SC2. He is at GoSudoa on Twitter. We just have a big standoff right now as both players are posturing up. JookTo just does not want to move off of this defensive position right now. But of course, what is he going to reproduce on when the time comes?
Well, I think he's going for the 1 minute or 1 hour 20-minute +3 air weapons Colossus mothership carrier timing attack. I'm pretty sure that's what he's going for here.
Is this? Do we have like Ken Corp versus Hunger flashbacks now? Is
no,
this?
Of course not. I don't think I'll ever touch that. The Void Colossus moving across the map.
Oh, once again, Zerglings making their way in to this base. They're just going to try and take it out, deny the mining once again. HasuObs has, he's just basically going to be able to remax on Zealots is what it amounts to. May catch himself a High Templar as well. Storm goes down, catches a few Zerglings there. They're going to have to run on back. Don't think they can do it, so they're probably just going to have to swing in and see how many buildings they can take out. Yeah,
might as well try to do a little bit of damage, but look at that. DT there, cannons there. Oh, nice pylon powering a lot of those gateways, but going after the Dark Shrine instead. Look at that placement for the Dark Shrine, too. That's not something that's going to be taken out very easily.
Certainly. He has to go through this building on the left-hand side. Gets one of them. Dark Shrine is getting kind of low, but the DT looks like he's dealing with these units pretty quickly.
Yeah, the Zerglings decided to go and attack cannons instead, unfortunately.
Not the best, but HasuObs not really bringing in any more income at the moment. He's long-distance mining now the remainder of those minerals. Basically mined out on this base on the right-hand side as well. 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yep, that's right. And I think as +3 air weapons finishes, which it did just finish, we're going to see HasuObs move in. Yep, there he goes, trying to end this game now. This is going to be it.
Well, he's just mass transfusing. Look at that! The Broodlord stayed alive! That was about 5 or 6 transfusions that hit it. HasuObs now forced to put up a ton more interceptors afterwards. That was pretty good control there out of JookTo.
JookTo's been spending all his money on queens. You can see he's got quite a few. Queens and spine crawlers, things like that. He's been able to mine some gas.
Well, let's see here. How many workers? 24 to 20. Was just curious where they were at right now out of just to see where their army values were at comparatively. But, all right, still powering ahead here. 198 kills. Oh, thought he was going to hit 200 there. But
it's close.
Certainly will in a big fight in just a second.
17 hit point, 198 kill Colossus.
Standard
stuff, yeah. Standard. Yeah.
All right. Well, HasuObs rolling his way up now with a bunch of Colossi and trying to rebuild that, or a bunch of Stalkers, trying to rebuild that one more time. Mine goes to mush when you have an hour and 21-minute game.
I know, seriously. DTs are doing something somewhere. We can hear, he's at the Zelnaga Tower killing broodlings.
Oh, is that what he's doing right here?
That's what he was doing that one, yep.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Yep. Makes much more sense. And 199! 199!
199 kill Colossus.
200!
Wow.
Huzzah!
That is amazing, man.
They should actually throw in a troll rank, like above Executor, but it only hits when you get like 250 kills.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they should just adopt the Unreal Tournament method of kills, and they could be like, monster kill.
Monster kill.
That'd be good.
I like it. That's a lot of queens. Well, JookTo officially has no money. Like that's it. Gas is done. This is the only gas mining that's being done on the map. Those are the only gas geysers that have any left.
There's like a couple minerals here and there, but
yeah,
not really anything worth building a base for at this point.
Actually think he's long... No? Okay, I thought he was actually long-distance mining like some of these.
Yeah, well, how many minerals are on those patches right there?
Let's go ahead and take a look. 85, 35,
yeah,
40, 300.
Not a whole lot.
A few in the top as well. Hey, that one's got 800.
Ooh,
well, actually, he could send up a few drones up to that base.
He could. Oh, there is something going up to that base, though.
Yeah, it looks like it's a bunch of zealots, which are trying to roll in and kill some queens. Nice trap, though, and the zealots do go down, but at the same time, HasuObs posturing through the front. Thought he was going to go for it, but looks like he holds back for now.
This is like one of the most interesting standoffs in StarCraft 2 I've seen yet. I mean, Protoss still has the advantage, but Zerg has such a good entrenched defensive position that it's nearly impossible to attack into that. Look at that. All those Spore Crawlers, all the Brood Lords, some of them moving a little bit too far ahead maybe right now.
Yeah, it looks like it, as trying to roll up to...
taking the Xel'Naga Tower.
Guys, this is game number 2. It's a best of 9, by the way.
Yes. I don't think that the rest are going to be as long as this, though.
No, they have to be. It's man law. They have to one-up each other.
I don't think that applies in StarCraft 2.
What? My life has been a lie. I've lived a sham.
Sorry. That happens sometimes. 177 supply, too, so really Zerg is really starting to catch up, too, in supply.
Yes, he is. And Void Ray's rolling up, picking off a couple of Overseers.
Nice snipe there, picking off that Overseer.
Oh, nice job getting a Corruptor as well. Not too much life lost on those.
Whoa!
Look at the chain transfusions. That's so fun.
Huh. All right. Well, Colossi lining up like a big parking lot.
Yes.
Space.
That's amusing. Yeah. Look at that. He's like separating out all of his units right now into the individual types so we can check them.
How many kills each of those carriers have?
Let's see, 0, 3, 0, 0, 7, 2, 8, 3.
Oh, interesting. All right. Yes. What's that at the top of the map?
It is a bunch of stalkers heading up, actually.
Right. Kill some buildings at least here?
Yeah, I mean, just do something. But I think he
look
just...
at that. Oh, look at that.
I think he just wanted... Transfusion's hitting again. He wanted JookTo to try and push up. Like, hey, my army's out of position. Hey, I got a Vortex still. All right. Well, he is going to take out this base with the 800 minerals attached to it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It looks like JookTo is going to go for it. Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the fight that decides the game. Corruptor's moving up, taking out quite a few units. Mass Recall actually hitting on a lot of the Stalkers as well. We've not seen any Vortexes quite yet. There's number 1. Are we going to see number 2 in a second as well? Archon's ducking inside. Our Colossus now has 219 kills and going up.
Yep, that's right, and I think this is going to go to HasuObs. He's just got the better unit composition. You can really see the supply going downhill fast for JookTo, and in the end, just too high of an army. Wow, and this Colossus is going to actually survive the game, too, I think.
Oh, my God. Bill, you are a master. And there's not that many Broodlords left. 55 supply. Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 hour and 27 minutes into the game, it looks like HasuObs is going to come out on top.
He certainly is. That attack by JookTo, man, I mean, I don't know. He just felt like he had to do something. And that something was apparently lose the final fight. 100 and some supply ahead right now for HasuObs.
Oh, my God.
Wow, that Colossus, little did he know when he got down to 17 hit points earlier that he would go on to be a 253-kill Colossus.
Reddit, screenshot that right now. I'm leaving it up on screen. I want to see that on r/StarCraft. Screenshot that. Ladies and gentlemen, mouz.HasuObs has taken game number 2.
That was absolutely crazy. You don't see a game like that very often. That is like a once in every 6 months game at the